for making it up here.
Thank you.
How was the weekend?
Great. It was awesome.
Okay, great. So we are going to start the new project. The project is called Defining the Problem. So you can directly understand that this is going to be all about the problem.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you read about the whole overview and the directions on the platform, so the whole agenda for today, we are going to cover up about two parts. And the first part will be we're going to start by deciding the problem the company is facing, not even saying that it's deciding, but then determining what is the problem, what all about it, what is happening within Drip and Dry. So we're going also to search for the process of solving that problem. This involves the methods, and then maybe looking at other companies, how they solved, if the problem is the same to those companies, and all things related to that. And then we're going to have some time to read through the resources, because they are very important, and then they contain all the information. And second, we're going to address the problem. Addressing the problem will involve defining it, and then analyzing the factors contributing to that problem, and then the real important thing is determining the potential solutions to that problem.
Yes.
Doing that, I'm going to make it as like you're going. Every person is going to tell me 2 or 3 possible solutions that can be used to solve the problem Drip and Dry is facing.
Yes.
And then the third part, we're going to make and write a memo to Fred and Curry that contains different information, which are the description of the problem, the explanation of the problem itself, the explanation of the factors contributing to the problem, the identification of who contributed, which potential solutions we've said and mentioned or shared. And in the third point of the part 1, where we're going to be identifying who contributed to the solution, there is part 2. Part 2, we're going to write emails. Each of everyone of us, we're going to write an email.
Yes.
Yeah, meaning that the list is going to write an email telling me the solution I proposed, the contribution I made, and then the contribution I made related to the norms, and moreover, this will be about the feedback, a very constructive feedback.
Yes.
Yeah. And after that, after the emails, you got about the emails.
Yes.
That will be the part 2. So what we'll be submitting is the memo and then the 2 emails. This is all about the agenda.
Okay.
So first, let's start by the problem-solving process.
Okay.
Yeah, there is one source which I read about the solving processes, which I think there exist 3. There is a descriptive approach, there is a prescriptive approach, and there is functional approach.
Yes.
If you read about it, I talk too much. Please, I'm going to start by you, telling me one you know about these approaches. Yeah.
One problem-solving approach I remember is the prescriptive approach, and it's a problem-solving process which consists in identifying the problem that is at stake, and listing making like a list of solutions, and then evaluating the solutions that will be implemented to solve those problems. But by implementing those solutions, we look at the effects that those solutions will have, as in the outcome. if the outcome will be negative or positive. Yeah.
Okay. Delise, the second? Yeah.
Yeah, there's also functional approach, which consists of identifying the problem certain company is facing, and then after identifying the problem, you also have to list in different solution to the problem, solution that you think might help to solve the problem, and then later you select the best solution that is also feasible to solve the problem.
Okay, I think both have some similarities. So there is also one which is descriptive. You mentioned prescriptive,
Yes.
and then functional. So the descriptive is all about you first analyze the problem and then the issues related to that problem. And secondly, you measure, you determine or you look at alternatives or maybe solutions that can solve that, both the problem and then those issues, how the alternatives can mitigate the issues.
Yes.
And then lastly, there you select one solution, one potential solution. Yeah, that is all about the process of approaching or the process of solving a certain problem. So thank you for the approaches. So I would like to know, what approach can we use so as to solve this issue among the three?
So I think we should use prescriptive, because it also looks at the outcome of the solution. That's the difference between the other two.
I also think the prescriptive approach is the best one because it just don't stop at finding solutions.
Yeah.
Start by explaining what drip and dry's problem is. So Queen, I'm welcoming you. Tell us. So in the beginning, Grip and Dry owners Fred and Kerry had an interview with a local TV station, and from there they became very famous, and the coffee house and the laundromat have been at capacity since then. So they're facing issues like noise, a very small space, and the faithful customers are complaining that they can be private. They can stay private because some people use the coffee house as their personal space and stay the whole day without even paying or consuming anything, being the laundromat or the coffee house.
Okay. Denise, do you have something else to add?
Yeah, so I'll also add that because of this problem of many people using the laundromat as for their personal issues, their faithful customers are leaving, which is also a problem to the company, because the people that have been there with them are not feeling comfortable to still use their services.
Okay. So in other words, the drip and dry is facing mostly with the problem that people or its customers are unsatisfied.
Yes.
Even though they brought the idea of mixing or having a combination of the coffee and then the laundromat. So to continue, let's talk in deep about the factors that contributed to the problem itself. If it's the problem that customers are unsatisfied, what are those factors? What are the potential factors? Yeah, the list. Can you take us into that? Maybe one or you read about.
Yeah, so there's noise, which is caused by many people that are using laundromat and others that are using the coffee shop. So there are so many, which causes a lot of noises. There's many people, and also the machines that make coffee and the other ones that they use when cleaning clothes.
Okay.
Queen?
So another factor is the small space, because people who use the laundromat are there is like a lot of clientele, and those who wait in line for their laundry to be done are stay there, and sometimes do not go into the coffee house, and it created some sort of congestion within the space, and people are not comfortable staying there anymore, as in they cannot they cannot stay there because people are standing around them, and it's very uncomfortable. Yeah.
Okay, talking about the factor that the company is receiving many customers, people are coming from many places, so it become known. So also within many clientele, there's also a thing of a small space. The company itself is not even that small, but the parking also, the parking space. So people are waiting, they are making long lines, and then the parking side also it's small. It doesn't occupy all the cars of the customers. So this is also one factor I read about. And let's let's explain. So if we heard or if we understood the factors that led to the problem the drip and dry is facing, let's also mention or think about the solution that can help carry or freight mitigate the risk of losing customers, and also or erase the fact that the company is facing the problem. So how or what can Fred do? Queen, can you start?
I would for avoiding the noise and the small space, I would suggest that Fred and Carrie add like some additional space to the laundromat and coffee, so that the people can find places where to sit without dealing with the people who are waiting in line for their laundry to be done. I would suggest also that Fred and Carrie established like guidelines whereby the people who are not coming for the laundry cannot access to the coffee house, because in the beginning the coffee house was made for people who wait in line for their laundry, just so they don't get bored or just stay for a very long time without doing nothing. So I would suggest that it stays that as the original idea, so that only the people who came to do their laundry use the coffee space. Yeah, so that would avoid as in stop the people who come and stay there as their personal space to stop it, definitely. Yeah.
I think your solution is great, but then I'm wondering, don't you think you're being unfair? Don't you think you're limiting people? Suppose that a person has been invited by someone else,
Yes.
yeah, for just enjoying the coffee, and then for the other day maybe they're going to come for laundry,
Yes.
and then there is that regulation that people who doesn't use laundry will not are going to use the coffee. How do you think about it?
Of course, we have, you know, that we have chosen the prescriptive approach. Solutions that we pick can have some sort of negative effects.
True.
So that's one of the negative effects that the solution I proposed can have. So while going to implement those solutions, we know at least the negative effect that it will have, and it will help us know if it's the best solution for Fred and Carrie or if it's not. So it will be up to us to find out.
Okay, thank you. Let me keep on. I also have an idea that the company can charge, they can set up some charges on people who wants to use the coffee, only who wants to enjoy the coffee beverages or foods available at the house, and who does not use the laundry. So our main focus is to do what? To do the laundry. You know, help people with the laundry services. But then we also need coffee because people wants to spend time waiting for the laundry, but in something else. But then if people have come to just stay there and then do their stuff, they're occupying space. They are taking time and they're then increasing the labor forces, which we do not have. I think of placing charges. They might be small, maybe $2 or $5, just sitting, and then I think that will be feasible because it's going to decrease the number of customers coming for coffee only. Yeah, or something else I thought about, it's separating the coffee and then the laundromat, not separating them maybe in another location, but then flows. How about having the coffee in the ground floor and then having the laundromat in the second floor or the first floor? Yeah, this will help not having lines of people waiting for the laundry in the coffee house.
Yes.
And then the service people, the service staff, we're going to also have or give services separately, which is effective. Yeah, those are of my ideas.
I think those ideas are brilliant, and from the beginning, Fred and Carrie also have mentioned that the financial figures they have at the end of the month don't match with the number of people who come to the coffee house and the laundromat. So it's gonna be easier now to track whether the people who come at the coffee house consume, and then it will help them as in matching the expense, as in the incomes with the people with the number of people who come.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's true. So I also have some solutions. The first one will be delivering clothes to different people who only came for laundry. Instead of them waiting on the lines or staying there over the other people who are taking their coffee, those people can go back home and then the company will deliver their clothes to their specific homes. I think this can be the best solution because the people who are there only for laundry won't take space or cause any noises to the other people who are there. Another solution would be to charge people who are there just to use Wi-Fi, because they say that there are people who are there to do their personal issues instead of using the laundry or or taking coffee. So I think they will charge them a reasonable amount of money to make them stop doing that and occupying a lot of places.
Thank you very much. Your ideas are very convincing, and then they're very contributing to the motion we have. So I think we are coming at the end. I'm going to summarize what you talked about. Yeah, you mentioned about the potential solutions. Right away, we have 6 solutions. She said about expanding the company, having some rooms, some additional rooms to the company that will be available for other activities. Yeah, this will help to in servicing, and then it will help to decrease the number of customers or decreasing the fact that there is much noise. And then which she also mentioned, if you can help, you mentioned something else about.
I said that the people who don't come for the laundry service cannot use the coffee house.
They cannot use the coffee house. And then I also say about having the company separated into two, having the coffee house place and then the laundromat at the same the same building but different floors. And I also said about fees, to charge fees on people who want to use the coffee services, facilities, beverages and food, and who do not use the laundromat. She said about having a delivery service, which will be very helpful to us and will be, I think, competent. And then also we would have
Charge
yes,
fees for people who don't use either coffee or laundry.
exactly. We're going to decrease the number of people who use our place, our Wi-Fi for their personal use by just stopping and having some people managing the Wi-Fi and then the two places. Yeah, thank you very much. This is the end. I think this memo will help very much in mitigating the process. If someone can help me, maybe adding something else or a comment or a question.
So what is our next step from now?
Yes, our next step, we are having already the memo.
Yes.
Yeah, which the contents we've had it already, and then right away we're going to write emails. I'm going to write email to you
Yes.
and to the list. She's going to do the same. The email will be containing the feedback.
Yes.
Feedback, constructive feedback. You're going to mention something I did well,
Yes.
something I need to improve on, and then tell me the solution I proposed, how it is strengthened or weakened.
Yes.
Yeah, that is all about it. Any question or comments?
So add a comment that we're also meeting next week to work on the other project.
Sure. Next week on
We said Thursday, right?
yeah, on Thursday.
Thursday at 3 p.m.
Sure. Shall meet.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you.